we are not discussing about HANA. We are just discussing about the basis first of all. Okay. So exactly you should know what basis is and what is the major part of basis in SAP, because there are a lot of module in SAP, and you are a technical consultant. So according to you, according to your profile, you have to proceed with basis because it's technical and it's purely related to engineers. So like I can say what SAP and what is the basis. So you know about SAP and basis part, any task, any like what task basis are performing, like do you know anything about it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, okay, no problem. So basically, in SAP, basis is a central module, okay, which you can say it's a tool, you can say it's an application, you can say it's a platform. So it doesn't matter. The other thing is that its work as an interface between the database and the operating system. So what I can say here, you have the good knowledge of database, and if you can link the database with the operating system, okay, so that is a good thing because you have
Okay.
an entire knowledge of all the things, database
Yes.
as well as base as SAP. Third one is OS. Okay, so basically
Okay.
basis, what basis per consultant do, it's work as an interface, like database, whatever the things which worked behind this database and the operating system. So all those things are linked with the application. So that things will be taken care by the basis module only. Okay, so
Okay.
if I say basis full form, like what exactly BASIS is, so it's a business application software integrated solutions. Okay, business
Okay.
application software integrated solutions.
Solutions.
So what, yeah, so what we have to do, we have to provide the solutions, we have to do the troubleshootings, we have to link the database with the operating system. Okay, so these things the business person needs to be do. Okay, technically. So like there are so many applications related to SAP. I can say functional modules are there, FICO is there, PP is there, okay, SD is there. Now what they are? They are related to functional part. Okay, if anything related to finance, that comes under FICO, which can be taken care by CA. Okay, there's one module SD. So that is the part of sales and distribution that can be taken care by the MBA people. Okay. So basis BCA, BTech people, and those who have a good knowledge of technical. So this is the best module for them. Then other thing is that you can say it's a application server, main thing, and also a SAP web application server. Okay, web also linked with basis and the application server is also linked with the basis. Okay,
Okay.
so as of now you are able to understand the things like what exactly the basis is. Then I will explain you in deep like what basis needs to do, what are the things we have to take in care.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it fine for you as
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
now?
It is fine. Yeah. Yeah. It is fine.
Oh, okay, okay. So basically, like if we talk about any of the technology, all the things are linked with OS. Okay, all
Yes.
the things are
Yes.
linked with database. All the
Yes.
things are related with the memory management.
Yeah.
Okay, web request. So all the things are related to it. But what SAP is like, there are the things which we are doing in SAP that we need to do using the transaction codes. Okay, transaction codes are there. There are specific transaction codes that are the standard codes which we have to use to run anything on the SAP system. Okay. I mean to say, if you want to do any financial related things, if you want to check, if you want to check your system, how you can check? You can check that system using the transaction request. Okay. So here, transaction request are main thing to learn about the SAP. Okay, not only basis, any module, I can say. The
Okay.
other thing is that, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So main thing is like what exactly the basis will do. That is the that will make you, you know, more familiar with this topic. First of all, just listen. System monitoring. Okay. System monitoring is like every time, you know, hundred or thousands of users are using the system,
Mm.
and maybe the system gets slow, maybe the system is in hung position, or you know, there are so many problems with the system. So what things basis will do at that time, basis needs to handle that issues. Okay, basis
Okay.
needs to you know, check the system. Basis is a doctor for that particular system, you can say. So
Yes.
all the system monitoring administration task will be performed by the basis. Then other
Exactly.
than that is, yeah, other than that is database monitoring. Okay, database
Mhm.
monitoring is also the part of the basis consultant. Then
Mhm.
memory related issues, buffer related issues, that can be taken care by basis.
Okay.
Then authorizations, you know, if suppose I am in a project already, and there's a big team which is you know, working with me, and you are a new consultant in our organization, and
Mm.
you are working with us in that project. So what we have to
Mm.
do, we have to provide you the authorizations, we have to
Mm.
provide you the access. Okay, we will
Mhm.
create an ID, we will provide you the authorizations, we have to provide the roles, we have to provide the transaction codes to your user ID, so that you can also use that particular system. Okay, so that
Okay.
things will be taken care by the basis person. Okay, now there are some client related things, so that is totally a new. When you will start the course, then you can able to understand what is client. The client is not like the project client, that is not the client. In SAP there is a separate part, client, so that is a different thing. So you know, license management, like license is going to be expired or you have to add a new license, so that things will be taken care by basis. SAP router configuration, SAP router installation, that can be taken care by the basis. For each and every module there is a SAP router, right, which we have to link with the web as well as with the other systems. So there are different systems in each and every project. So that should be linked with each other using this SAP router and the RFC's connections. So performance tuning, you can say, daily tasks which we are going, that have to be, you know, using the background jobs that we have to schedule. S note implementation, the refresh part, you have this idea about a little bit idea you have about refresh activity, or like a kernel upgrade activity, you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
any
yeah,
idea?
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay. So, you know, it's very easy for me to make you understand the things,
Yeah.
because if these are the new words for you, so it's very difficult for me to explain you in a one day. So
Mhm.
like kernel upgrade activity, quality refresh activity, then, you know, SAP router configuration, SAP router renewal certificate. Now, SAP installation, that is a single time activity when the project is coming. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
after that, in each and every year, we have to renew the certificate. So there is a different process for it. Then you know, except that host agent part, host agent, or any any upgrade, add-ons upgrade, normal upgrade, you have ever heard about this word sum?
SEM, so no, not it.
Okay, okay, no issues. So sum is basically the tool which we are using for the upgradation parts. Okay. Say if you have to upgrade EHP, if you have to upgrade ERP version. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you want to increase the level of basis, or if you want to increase the level of any component which exists for SAP basis or for other modules. So that component's version needs to be upgraded by SPAM, SANT, SWPM, some tool. These are four tools which are basically used to upgrade anything in the SAP part. So these activities, upgrade related part, installation, configuration, migration, conversion, these all taken care by the basis consultant only. Okay.
Yeah.
So basis system, and the other thing is that the transaction request. So you have any idea about the transaction request? What is transaction?
Yeah. Transaction means we have to do the receive and update, right?
Not that. Transaction is like there are specific transactions in SAP. Okay, so I will let you know in the next slide. Okay,
Okay.
so work processes are there. Now we are going to discuss about the transaction request, work request, work processes. Okay, and what are the functions of the basis module that I already told you. Okay, but if you have any doubt, you can ask after that.
Sure. Yeah.
So basically, if we are going to understand anything, okay, whether it's SAP or it's Oracle or whatever, so first of all we should know about this architect, like what is it, what we are going to do, and what is the scenario which is going to be run behind us. Okay, so if you have a good knowledge of this, then you can able to understand the things and you can link it as well. So basically, if we have this system, okay, you are sitting in front of the system, okay, laptop. So basically, and you are suppose accessing the SAP, okay, you are suppose accessing the SAP. So what we have to do here, the person is sitting in front of the laptop. Here the person sitting in front of the laptop, that and the SAP is going to be open in that system. So that thing will comes under this presentation layer. Okay.
Okay.
So SAP GUI is what? SAP GUI is the
Graphic user interface.
yeah. So basically, when the user is try to link, connect with the SAP system, so that thing will comes under this presentation layer. Okay. Now, if we discuss about the application layer, and there are some more things regarding the presentation layer that we will do if we will start the course, but I'm just giving you the general scenarios today. Then if we come towards the application layer, so what application will do, in the application part, there are a lot of things. Suppose user is trying to interact with the system. Now you are running any transaction in the system. What will happen? The query will run and all that information will going to be stored in a database, right?
Yes.
So the query which is running, that comes under this application layer, and after that the data is going to be stored in a database layer. Okay, so query is running in the application layer and the data is stored in a database layer. So it's a general scenario. Okay, now there's lot of things. Okay, this is called as R3 system architect. Why? Presentation layer, application layer, then database layer. Okay, now the thing comes, basically, as I already told you, in presentation layer, user interaction is there. Okay, so we are trying to interact with the SAP system and we are doing our own works. Suppose if I am a user and suppose there are 1,000 users and 1,000 users want to communicate with the SAP GUI system. So there's a particular dialogue step. You can say dialogue step, or you can say there's a particular dialogue process will assign to that user, individual user. Okay, if I am a user, I'm trying to accessing this SAP system. So there is one dialogue process for me, okay, assigned by the system. And if there are 1,000 users, so there are 1,000 dialogue processes assigned to them. Particular one dialogue process assigned to particular person. Okay, so that I will explain you in the next slide because it's going to be common deep.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah, here you can see, then we will cover backwards. So basically in presentation, like SAP GUI, user is sitting, office, internet, all those things they are using, they are doing in that comes under the presentation layer. So after that, dispatcher is there, right?
Yeah.
Now it's something deep about the application layer. So now user is try to interact with the system. After that, what will happen? The communication will happen. Then only then only the user will able to do the work. So when the person is running any transaction, what will happen? One dialog process will assign to it.
Mhm.
Okay, one dialog process will assign to this user. Then again the dialog again the just give me a minute. Okay, so if there are 4 users, okay, 4 dialog work process assigned to them, one to this, second to this, third to this, and fourth to this. Okay, then these dialog work process will interact with this dispatcher. Okay, and
Yeah.
after that the dispatcher will decide what type of work it is, and accordingly that work process will assign to that particular transaction. Okay, suppose if this user is interacting, so one dialog work process will assign. After that, this user is going to schedule one background job. Okay, this user
Okay.
is going to schedule one background job. So again, one background job will assign to this particular user. Background process, there are 5 type of process. Okay, so there's a different criterias of work. If you want to update work process will assign. If you want to schedule a job, background work process will assign. Okay, if the user is try to open the system, SAP system, then dialog work process will assign. So like this, work process is going to be assigned to that particular work. And for users, dialog work process is there. Now what are that work processes that I will show you?
Khushbu, there is
See,
a reminder that in case the link is expired after 8 minutes, it will, then please rejoin on the same link,
yeah, sure. Okay.
right? Okay,
Okay,
Manohara,
Riddhi.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
See, this is a dialogue work process. This is a background work process, spool work process, NQ work process, and update work process. So there are total 5 type of work process, which who is the leader of these work process? SAP dispatcher is the leader of this work process, because SAP dispatcher will decide that this work is related to this particular activity. So accordingly, the work will assign to that particular work process. Okay, so
Okay.
suppose if the user is trying to interact with the SAP system, dialog work process will assign. If anything in SAP needs to be updated, then update work process will assign. If we are scheduling any background job, okay, so for that background job will assign to that particular work. Spool work process is related to if SAP, in SAP, if you want to uh, just want to take a printout. Okay, so for printer related queries, spool work process will assign to that work or to that user. And suppose I am the user, I want to take one printout. So for that, one dialog work process will assign to me, and second one is the spool work process will assign to me. Okay, then last one is the NQ. So NQ is like, suppose I'm using one transaction and you also want to use that transaction. So you know what SAP will do? SAP will provide you one pop-up, and just there's one line written there that already this is logged by this particular user. Okay. So for
Yeah.
that, NQ work process will work. Okay, so
Yeah. Take
these
it.
are the work processes. So basically, without these work processes, SAP will not able to handle the scenario. So these are some important things: SAP dispatcher, then this work processes, then message server, okay, and gateway. So these are some important things which are related to this module. So basically, if I say about this application server, So I already told you about R3 programs run on the application servers. Okay. R3 architect is there. Okay. Then this application server communicates with the presentation components, database, and also with each other using a message server. Okay. So as I told you that there is one message server also there. Okay. So, for each and every system, there's one message server. Like if you have a project, there's one message server. Okay. Message server will send a request to the dispatcher. Then what dispatcher will do? Dispatcher will dispatch the request to that work process. Okay.
Yeah.
So for each and every system, there should be one dispatcher. Okay. In each and every project, there is one message server, only one message server. Okay. That message server will decide. Suppose there is a lot of users. Okay. 2,000, 3,000 users. So you cannot, with one dispatcher, you cannot take care of this particular request. What you have to do, message server will decide to which particular dispatcher this work needs to be assigned. Okay. So after that, you select first dispatcher. Okay. So that dispatcher will decide to which work process this work needs to be assigned. Okay. So there's a whole scenario which is working like this. Now hardware and database administration. Now hardware upgrades, adding memories. Okay. Server related issues needs to check, database backup and recovery, database optimization, disaster recovery, DR.
I aware of these all.
Yeah. So you have a good knowledge of this. So that is why this is the, positive point for you.
Yeah.
This is a positive point for you that you have a good knowledge of database. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So
Sure.
if you have a good knowledge of SAP module also, no, so it's a more beneficial for you in future.
No, I don't have knowledge and modules. This is the first.
Yeah, that you will learn.
Yeah.
That you will learn. I have the documents. I have the live scenarios, activities also. So I can show you that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you will proceed with us. So like if I'm going to teach you the kernel upgrade, I have one document for kernel upgrade. Okay, that I will show you that this is the step, how you have to download the patches from the backend, from the support portal, how you have to apply, how you have to check the versions, what commands needs to be run. All those things I will guide you.
Yeah. In Sybase, actually, regarding that kernel issues, we have to escalate. We have escalate to the SAP only.
Yeah. So SAP will do that part basically.
Yeah.
And
we don't have access to do that. Yeah.
And basically in, the projects which are very expensive, in that database team is different, databases team is different, OS team is different. And the project costing is low, then in that case, basis will do the database part, OS part, as well as the SAP application part. Okay, so it depends. So basically, if we talk about basis function, so here you can, this part I have already discussed: client maintenance, user security maintenance, hardware database administration, correction transport system, data dictionary, online service system, OSS. Okay. If we have any problem with the SAP now, then we have to, communicate with the incident management team, SAP incident management team. Okay. There's one team, SAP team. So like if we are facing any issue in our SAP system, and our leads, our managers are not able to take in care, and we are also not able to troubleshoot, then in that case, we can link with SAP OSST. Okay.
Depending on
Performance
criticality.
related issue.
It
Yes,
depends
yes.
on the criticality.
Yeah, so you can raise P1, you can raise P2, you can raise P3, and also if you can able to resolve this issue by your own, that's the good thing. If you are not, then you can take the help from the SAP also. Okay.
Okay.
And performance monitoring related issues, tuning related issues. Then now here I can say correction and the transport system. So everything which we are doing in SAP. So what the scenario is like, there's one development system, then quality system, and third one is a production system. Okay. In development system, whatever the changes you want to do, you can do it. Okay. After that, it's a basis responsibility to move that changes from development to quality, quality to production. Okay. So in
Yeah.
development, there's a ABAP team. Okay. ABAP team is going to, suppose they are configuring a customized table in the development. So suppose they have done that